We have known for a while that Marvel Studios and Disney struck a new deal with Sony for the use of the Spider-Man IP. But now some new details have shed light on just what exactly is going on and how the deal has been revised in favor of both sides when it comes to what villains they can use and what the future holds. So apparently what's happened in terms of the negotiations that happened forever ago, which would have happened after Spider-Man Far From Home, after that fallout and when they structured a new contract, there was a lot of little altercations that happened on both sides in terms of, hey, I don't like what you're doing, we don't like what you're doing, we need to meet somewhere in the middle. So these altercations eventually got to the point where they're going to sit down and hash out how to handle the future so there's not a lot of issues. For example, Madam Web using multiple Spider-Woman kind of puts a bad taste in, well, Spider-Woman if Marvel Studios wants to use their version, which they can, right? So there's a lot of problems. And from all the reports we're seeing and hearing that Venom and Null are coming to the MCU and potentially being stars in Spider-Man 4, obviously things have changed. Enter the new deal. So apparently, Sony will now start notifying Marvel Studios in regards to which villains and characters from the Spider-Man universe they will be using in their non-MCU projects. And then Marvel will be blocked from using these characters for a minimum of 30 days after Sony releases the film on video on demand and physical. So if you're still not understanding what this is because it's a bunch of technical jargon, here you go. Let me take this a step back and just explain it in the simplest way possible. So let's say Sony officially told Marvel Studios, hey, we're making the Kraven film. This means that Marvel Studios cannot do anything with Kraven, not even consider him for a film because that would be a breach of contract, up until Kraven is out on video for you to purchase. Once that happens, Sony then would get, again, first dibs because, hey, do you want to make Kraven 2 if the first film is a big hit? Okay, Marvel Studios is still off limits. But if they're like, well, one Kraven is fine, then Marvel Studios can start using Kraven if it's approved by Sony. And they could do their own version, or they could work with Sony and use their version, which of course would be Aaron Taylor Johnson's version, and he's already played Quicksilver in the MCU, so who knows if they would be in favor of doing that, but they have recast the same actor in different roles before, so maybe they would. So if this info turns out to be true, this means that the contract has been revised to significantly help both sides, and you would honestly hope that this is true, because then it means that Sony probably can't mess with Marvel Studios, where if you guys remember, once Spider-Man Far From Home hit, they started development of a Mysterio origin film. Why? But they did, So we'll see what happens, but if this turns out to be true, this is all 100% good news.